Goddamn, episode 13 of Orb. What an episode. Just absolutely gut-wrenching. I feel so bad for Oaky. Oaky, unfortunately, is not going to make it. Yes, I very briefly forgot with my last episode impressions that, yes, we technically do see Oaky getting the Jawbreaker in the first episode. And I just briefly forgot about that. But yes, this is kind of lining up the two timelines. We're finally looping it back to that spoiler we got from episode 1 that, yes, Oaky's going to get the Jawbreaker. It's probably going to break his jaw. And yes, we got a confirmation this episode that he's pretty much dead anyways. I that was my question mark that I had last episode is he going to defeat Novak? He did. He actually technically did defeat Novak, which was really cool. But unfortunately, yes, he got ganked. He got ganked by a whole bunch of other dudes and got captured. He got captured. That's crazy. And again, I guess that technically leads it into the idea of Oaky being a poker chip, a bargaining chip. The idea that he wants to keep him alive, despite the fact that I think he really badly wanted to kill Oaky because, again, he's getting close to his daughter. But yes, he needed a bargaining chip, and so he had to capture him and keep him alive. But yes, as he tells Oaky later on, you're dead anyways. Like, our job isn't to kill you. Our job is to torture you, possibly to death. Our job is to torture you, get information from you. You're probably dead, though. You're most likely 100% dead because you did attack us, and that means that you get sentenced to death. And yes, it technically pointed out that even though he was avoiding vital spots, it looks like he probably killed a few people, so no matter what, Oaky's dead. It's just, unfortunately for Oaky, he's still a bargaining chip. They're going to resuscitate him and keep him alive just for the sake of trying to get information out of Badini. Now, as much as a gut-wrenching aspect of it, it doesn't look like Badini's giving it up. And he did get up some information. That was the idea that he, yes, doesn't see it as blasphemy and that the information's gone. He's not giving up anything to him, but he does technically confirm the fact they were looking into this stuff, just he doesn't see it that way. He doesn't see it as something that's wrong, even though, again, he acknowledges that the church is going to see it wrong. But either way, I really do still at this point, even in episode 13, I'm waiting for I'm still holding heavily on to the idea that we're going to get some sort of redemption out of Novak. He's still a horrible person. He's still done a lot of horrible things, but I still think at some point he's going to have a shift. This episode really did make me sort of start to let that go. I think I'm starting to let that go. I still think there's a chance that he will fight for his daughter if his daughter does get involved, and there's still a good chance they'll link her back into it. But I think I've given up on the idea that this guy is going to have a change of heart. Because I really do feel like his experience with Oaky, he's even pulling up his memories of Raphael. He still, to this day, doesn't get it. And he's trying to understand it. That's the kind of interesting thing there. He's still trying to understand it. Like, why do heretics keep showing up? Why do you keep doing this? You guys keep showing up. And interestingly enough, he says, yes, I can, brush it off as the idea that you guys are possessed, that you're manipulated by the devils, or that you've lost your mind. But he's spoken to too many people that seem like they are of sound mind. He knows how people think. He sees it. He sees how they're lying. He sees how they think. He sees their mannerisms. He sees all these things, body language and everything. And he's seeing a lot of them are perfectly sane. But why do they still keep doing it? Doesn't make sense. Yes, Raphael gave his reasoning. Now here we have Oaky's giving his reason. I want freedom. We're no different than beasts. We're being locked down by all these laws and whatnot. I want that freedom to hope and love the earth that they're on. He finally found that thing that Glass found. He found that thing that heretic found before that gave them the information to Glass and him. He's finally found that thing that sort of makes him hope for the world that he's in, that inspiration, that ideal that his master says in his dream. So it's something that's kind of throwing at to Novak, but in the end, I don't see Novak changing because of that. In the end, it's still don't understand. I'm asking you this personally because I'm trying to figure it out. But again, at least he's trying to figure it out. That is the interesting thing about his character. Despite the fact that he's an evil person and he's doing horrible things, and right here he's doing horrible things to poor Oaky who doesn't deserve it, he's still trying to figure it out. He's still at least opening himself to a reasoning. That's typically with a lot of these type of people that shouldn't be something that's there. It's a sign that something is there that is sort of creeping open that door to allow him to accept it. I want a reason. I will take it, but you got to give it to me. Oh, you don't have it. I don't understand it. All right, close the door again. Let's go to the next person. All right, tell me what exactly is your reasoning for this? I don't understand it. Tell me. And again, that could be just in the mind of an inquisitor like him, that willingness to try to understand for the sake of manipulating people in the future. But I do think it's like a legitimate thing. And it might be tied into his whole thing with the priest himself. There might be something back there when they used to study astronomy and stuff like that, that could be that door opening up. But either way, jumping over to this scene where Oaky is actually in a dream state with his master. Found this really, really interesting because I don't necessarily think this is like some sort of tie-in with his professor or his master, because I think his master was pretty fire and brimstone. I think this is really Oaky in his own mind projecting the image of his master in order to, I guess, figure out the situation, figure out what makes himself tick, put himself together before what he's going to be facing, which is a challenging of his own ideals. And yes, we see that with him talking to Novak. Novak is challenging his ideals. Why do you do this? Why do heretics keep showing up? Oh, freedom. But again, I like the idea that right here, Oaky's like, I ain't got nothing for you. Like, I told you everything I know. I have no information. I'm just a side gig. I'm just a guy moving stuff around. And yes, we do get a brief shot of why that is. That yes, we do get a little flashback of Badini confirming that he has burnt everything. Everything in the box, all around, apparently. Now, this could be Badini is lying to Oaky so that Oaky doesn't tell anybody where the stuff is. There's a side of me that believes, based on this episode, I think that Oaky and Badini are dead. No doubt. There's no way the two of them are going to get out of this. Now, there is a chance that Badini can recant, and they could let him live. Oaky can't because he attacked the Inquisitors. But Badini, so far that we know, he's only gotten one strike. This will be his one strike. Now, he did do something wrong in the past, but I think they kept that on the wraps. I don't think they let that get out, if I remember correctly. I want to say there's a spot in my mind where they did mention it. I think it was because he took out that other guy that stole his research. I don't remember. I think there's something in there that he did get a slap on the hand or something like that, so he might be dead. But I think he might actually live for this. If he can recant, I think they'll actually let him live. So he might be able to carry on, but I don't think he's going to give up. Now, there is a side of me that thinks that he could be like Hubert, where he will, yes, ask for forgiveness and be let free, but he won't actually, stay true to it. He'll just continue his research. But I don't know. I think he's going to push it. I think what's going to happen is he's going to be put before the church, and he's going to claim that it is real, and in the end, they won't accept it, and they will get rid of him. But the fact that Badini got captured does make you believe that both Oaky and Badini are dead, and what's going to follow up all this stuff is that we're going to find out that Badini gave it to somebody else. Despite what he told Oaky, he's going to give it to somebody else. The only person that we have right now in the cast that I could see him giving it to is, I don't think it'd be Grabowski. I don't think it'll be Grabowski, because again, Grabowski, and I think that Badini might pick up on this, Grabowski obviously was the one that tipped off the Inquisitors. It could be Yolenta. Which will be really funny, because right now we're finding out how ticked off Novak is that they got his daughter involved. He's like, I thank you guys because you've pointed out something and I'm able to correct it. That yes, I failed my daughter as a father. I'm a failure, and I'm gonna make sure I find out this thing that I've been researching for 10 years. This boy back here with his stupid orb. I'm gonna put an end to it all. I failed back here to snuff it out. I want to snuff it out now. Novak's crazy, but yeah, I think that's where it's probably gonna go. I think that he's gonna pass it off to somebody, and despite the fact that he keeps claiming that he's not. Will it be Yolenta? We'll see. But no, I forgot the whole scene with them talking to each other. And Oaky's like, I finally finished my book. Hey, can you tell me where that box is? Because I want to add the information on there with it. And he's like, oh, yeah, let me see it. Sets it on fire right in front of him. Like, that's Badini. Did you not? Even Badini himself says, like, I told you I was going to do that. Like, what's surprising to you? I told you I was going to burn it. He said, yeah, go ahead and write your book, but I'm going to burn it. This is like something that cannot exist. It literally is a blueprint to everything we're doing. I'm going to burn it. It was great. But again, I do kind of see Badini's mindset here of like, okay, if they're going to torture us and kill us anyways, what is the point in having the materials there that they can torture out of us? Well, we could put an end to the torture. They're still going to kill us. Yes, the idea there and what Novak is basically saying is that you don't have to prolong it. Rather than you suffer for a long period of time, you just die. Rather than pain, then die, you just die. So there is a logic to both sides of it. Why give them what they want? But at the same time, do you really want to suffer for a long period of time? Do you want to have that information? Now, I would argue there, just make some fake information somewhere and tell them that's where it's at. But again, that was all predicating on the idea if they were going to give the information up. And yes, when Badini comes in there and there's that shock there of, damn, they got him. Did he get the information out? He says that they captured him with a treatise, so it does seem like he did have something that he wrote up. I think it's probably not his real information. I think he got that information out. The treatise that they caught him with is probably something of a dummy document or something like that. Now, it could be, yes, the true information that he does want to present to the church in his capture, but it could be fake information to offset the idea that he sent the actual information. But no, as they went to the torture room, it was cool seeing how Badini was not giving it up. Like, he's just, no. I literally thought that Badini was going to keep like this straight face that nothing happened and nothing's going on. But again, later on, he does actually admit that he's looking into something and it's not blasphemy. That's the question mark there, is like, what was his in-game goal here? But yes, it is kind of interesting to see that Novak probably picked up on really quickly what was going on with Badini. That Badini himself was fully capable of taking all the torture. This is one of the things I was talking about. If Badini gets captured, could they get information out of him? I didn't think so because, again, he's done his own lashings to himself just to get back to his research. He harms himself when he realizes that something is wrong in his thinking. Like, this guy is used to pain. Novak picked up on that. That's why he's using Oaky. He's using Oaky, who he thinks that he can manipulate psychologically to Badini. He knows that Badini has the info. That's why he's the bargaining chip. So he's going to keep beating on him till Badini says something. But yeah, really interesting little scene there. Gut-wrenching, definitely, seeing Oaky getting the crap beat out of him. Thankfully, we didn't have to sit there and see it. You knew it was happening, but we didn't have to sit there and see it. But it would work either way. Either way, it's still super painful to sit through. But again, I like the whole segment where it does get into Novak's frustration with them confronting his daughter. The fact that he failed his daughter because he allowed this thing to continue and it got his daughter involved. It still shows that this dude is super mad about somebody getting his daughter close to heretical ideas. But yeah, getting into Raphael and that 10 years of something he's been building up, like Badini's like, sorry to throw cold water on your long process here, but it's all gone. I've burned it all. It's gone. Again, I don't think it's actually burned. I think he probably sent it somewhere. Now, he did technically say that he condensed it all down to the real stuff. Like, this is a box full of a lot of people's ideas, but there's a lot of stuff here that's useless or it's errored or it's just wrong. He took it and took that idea and made something perfect out of it. And so this stuff is kind of useless. Might as well get rid of it. But Novak says that he can tell that he's lying. And I technically do think that Novak knows that. I think Novak it's kind of painted out, this dude knows how to read people. He's seen enough people that he knows they're lying. And so that does technically indicate that Badini didn't actually burn it. Or at least there's still some information there for somebody. But yes, that's when he goes and gets the jawbreaker. So we're going to, again, see that opening sequence with Oaky. And again, it's not a death sentence. I mean, it can. It's not technically the device that will kill him. He's used it on people before. He claimed that it breaks their jaw to the point where you're not going to be able to talk for a while. Either way, once Oaky's jaw broken, he's going to be dead anyways, unless, again, Novak has some weird change of heart, which I don't think at this point. I think it's done a really good job of solidifying this dude is not having a change of heart anytime soon. That's the key thing there. He's not having a change of heart anytime soon. So next episode's going to suck. Next episode's going to really, really suck. And I'm really curious how Badini is going to flip this. Prediction, I think that Badini is going to reveal where the box is. He's going to try to do that in order to... I think this is going to be this last moment where we'll finally see that he'll want to help Oaky. I still think, again, based on the first episode, Oaky's going to have his jaw broke. But I think Badini is going to reveal something to at least alleviate the suffering of Oaky. But Oaky's still dead. And then what's going to happen is Badini is going to be put before the church. And he is going to claim his stuff is not blasphemy. They're going to deny it. And he's going to be burned. And then we'll find out that he's given his information to somebody else, which I think at this point is either going to be somebody else that he sent the letters to or possibly Yolanta. I don't necessarily think it's going to be Yolanta because if he wants the information to get out there, the last person he needs to send it to is Yolanta, because Novak is going to be probably helicopter parenting Yolanta right now, trying to make sure that she's not doing something wrong, and thus he'll easily intercept that. But it could go that direction. I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll see. That's my thoughts on episode 13. Again, super tough episode to get through, really fantastically put together, and I cannot wait for more, even though its next episode is going to suck really badly. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, hit the like button down below, comment, let me know what you thought of the episode. Additionally, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe before you leave. Like this content, you want to support more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate if it does. Until next time, I'll take care.